The world's most expensive military parade might be cancelled, not by diplomacy, not by politics, but by hardware that costs less than a used car. Russia has spent decades perfecting the spectacle of untouchable power. It turns out untouchable was always a production decision. Every May 9th, Russia stages Victory Day, a ritual born from genuine sacrifice. 80 million Soviet casualties in World War II. The parade is their consecrated memory turned into theater. Intercontinental missiles rolling down Red Square, jets overhead, the president reviewing troops. It's less military demonstration than national religion. Here's where the physics gets interesting. A modern long-range strike drone doesn't navigate the way you'd imagine. Forget someone hunched over a joystick in a bunker. These systems use a stack, GPS for gross positioning, inertial navigation when signals get jammed, and terrain-following algorithms that match what the drone's camera sees against preloaded satellite maps. It's essentially reading a book while walking, but the book is a 1,000-kilometer road. Ukraine didn't start the war with a drone program. It built one while the war was happening. Starting from commercial quadcopters modified with 3D-printed grenade mounts, Ukrainian engineers iterated toward purpose-built one-way attack drones capable of reaching deep inside Russian territory. The product roadmap for that evolution was written in urgency. Flying 1,000 kilometers without a pilot is an engineering problem with several elegant solutions. Turbine-powered airframes at low altitude stay under radar coverage. Optical flow sensors prevent GPS jamming from being fatal. AI-driven target recognition means the drone knows exactly what it's looking at when it arrives. The hard part, it turns out, isn't getting there, it's getting there undetected. Russia knows this. Moscow now has layered air defenses specifically designed for slow, low-flying objects, electronic warfare stations that scramble GPS signals across entire regions, acoustic detection arrays, and intercept drones. The city is, on paper, one of the most drone-hardened locations on Earth. On paper. Here's the uncomfortable math. A Ukrainian strike drone costs roughly $10,000 to $50,000 to build. Intercepting it with an air defense missile costs $1 to $3 million. Russia is essentially running a business where every customer pays full price and the cost of service is 20 times that. Accountants would call this unsustainable. Generals call it Tuesday. The Victory Day parade is, from a targeting perspective, a genuinely strange decision. A fixed location. A published date. A concentration of high-value symbolic assets, vehicles, aircraft, leadership. In any other context, military planners would call this a target-rich environment. The parade existed for decades because projecting that concentration of power in public was costless. That calculus has changed. There's a specific irony here that the physics makes unavoidable. Victory Day celebrates the defeat of a military that underestimated new technology. The Blitzkrieg succeeded not because of overwhelming force, but because it moved faster than the doctrine designed to stop it. 80 years later, the parade commemorating that lesson is now vulnerable to exactly the same dynamic: small, fast, cheap, and everywhere at once. The warning about May 9th isn't just a threat. It's a demonstration that the next chapter of warfare doesn't pause for ceremony. Strip away the spectacle and what's left is a simple ledger. One side pays tens of thousands of dollars, the other pays millions to respond, and the gap between those numbers compounds with every sortie. The parade isn't just a cultural artifact in the crosshairs, it's the physical embodiment of a theory of power that assumed the cost of challenging it was prohibitive. Ukraine didn't disprove that theory with a better army. It disproved it with a better spreadsheet. 80 years of deterrence built on mass and spectacle, and the thing unraveling. It is a turbine engine, a terrain map, and an algorithm that doesn't get tired. What strikes us isn't the threat to a parade. It's that the parade kept happening for so long because everyone quietly agreed the math still worked. Now the math is public, the arithmetic is brutal, and the agreement is over. We don't think this is a story about Ukraine or Russia specifically. We think it's a story about every institution that has ever confused the cost of its symbolism with proof of its invincibility. And that's the part that sits with us. If a $50,000 machine can force a nuclear power to reconsider a ceremony it has held for 80 years, what else has been running on assumptions nobody bothered to test?